Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Jonathan Maravilla, and today I'm going to be doing a reflection on a film that goes by the name of Newsies. So just a little bit of context for you. Newsies was released in 1992, and it was directed and filmed by Kenny Ortega. Fun fact, I am a huge fan of Kenny Ortega's work. High School Musical 1, 2, and 3 is my jam. Anywho, just a little bit of context. So as I said, we're going to be talking about a film and it's named Newsies. And so a little bit about it is Newsies is loosely based on a true story that goes by the name that is named the story of the New York Strike Boys, and really. We'll get into a little bit about what Newsies is about and what the story kind of brings and the message and everything. But a little bit about Newsies and just some feedback is, which I find encouraging, is when this movie was first released, and it was in 1992 as a Disney original film. This movie became a straight box office bomb. In other words, it was just not a very highly favored movie. It didn't attract the media's interest, and it was just it was straight seen as a straight bomb. Like, it was just a flunk, right? And years down the road, it went from being a bomb to a successful Broadway musical that has not only won several awards, but has also won a Tony, which I think is awesome, and it's encouraging to just kind of hear that, and to find out a little bit about that, even prior to watching the film. So with that, we're just gonna get right into it. So we come straight, and we start off with the starring character, Jack Kelly. Jack Kelly is a local member of a group that goes by the name of the Newsies. Hence the name of the movie. And really, the Newsies is a group of students who live in an area, who grew up in families that just have low income, right? And so this group finds ways to provide for themselves and provide for those that they care and love. So how do they do that? Well, they go to specific newspaper companies and buy the newspapers for a specific price, and then sell it for a price where they can not only sell it for a good price, but also receive profit in return. And this was the way that they were able to take care of their families and provide for their families. For example, Jack Kelly, his father, who was the main source of income, the main provider, was released from his job due to some injuries, and Jack had to find a way to provide for himself and provide for the family that he cares for. And in that time, both Hertz and Pulitzer have use a current situation that's going on during this film, and they managed to raise the prices of the newspapers. So Hertz and Pulitzer are just they're two rival companies that own a newspaper company, and they both managed to rise the prices, where it becomes a challenge for the Newsies, because the Newsies, like I said, come from a low income environment. They can no longer purchase the newspapers to sell them because the prices are just too high. I think it increased by 10%, and to us that might not be a lot, but to them it is, right? But then I said I think. With that frustration, the Newsies decide to go on a strike, and the strike continues to try to get the prices to go back to normal. And some plots and some things we find in the story is they come into contact with the rival crew that goes by the name of Strike Breakers. And this feud goes on for weeks with the strike breaker between the Newsies and the strike breakers. It's a continuous feud that just ends up into a very violent and physical scenario where they are beating each other with bare fists and whatever was near. And there was a scene in the movie where it just ends really, really bad, where the Newsies were to be arrested, and they later do not get arrested. They don't get arrested till later, but then Jack Kelly finds himself in a situation where the man who goes by the name of Snyder, who works for Pulitzer, comes to Pulitzer and says that he tells Pulitzer that Jack is someone that has escaped from the refuge. So Jack is not only finds himself arrested, but now puts his entire crew in a place where they will possibly end up in the refuge as well. And the refuge was just a kind of like a jailhouse, like a cell for children. And so so then Jack finds himself in a situation now where he has the option of to go back to the refuge alongside with the Newsies, or he can work for Pulitzer and sell newspapers as a strike breaker, no longer as a newsie, but as a strike breaker. And he agrees to that for the sake of his crew. And later, the Newsies manage to get a bigger crew and get together and go on this strike where Roosevelt, who was the governor at this time, it catches his attention, and he is aware and finds out of what's happening. And not only is it a successful strike where Roosevelt comes and he releases everyone that is in the refuge, but Jack is free. Snyder is arrested, and Pulitzer has no choice but to agree to the terms that Jack set, and that is to bring the prices back to normal. And towards the end of the film, Jack's dream was always, to go to Santa Fe and just live a new life and start fresh. And he's given that opportunity by Roosevelt. But then when he's finally there, he realizes that there's still a lot left for him in New York, so he comes back. And so the celebration is for the sake of refuge is finally shut down, but it's also a celebration because of Jack's arrival. And it's an amazing film that really shows that people can say one thing, but once they've seen it, like the entire perspective change, where it becomes a Tony Award-winning film. It's a great film. I recommend that you watch it. And my encouragement with that is fight for what you believe in and fight for what is right. Thank you guys. Have a great day.